I'm in B-Quik Mission Control, and I'm with B-Quik's long-time race engineer, Duarte. Now, Duarte's the perfect person to talk about Singapore because he's been there before, multiple times, engineered cars there. So first of all, Duarte, thank you for your time, but I want to ask you just a little bit about your history and your background, what you've done basically in Singapore before.
Right, well, it's a pleasure to be here talking with you. Thank you very much for that opportunity. Yes, I've been in Singapore. I believe it was one of the very first editions. And at the time, we started with Formula BMW. And back in the day, well, now F1 stars were starting their careers. That's how long ago it was. And then a few years later, well, I kept going back. And after that was on PCCA, Carrera Cup Asia. And the last edition would have been 7 years ago, in 2015. So yes, definitely a very interesting place to be, to work. It's an exciting city, and the opportunity to race at night or at dawn is also very, very, very interesting for us.
Well, the next thing is that you're engineering Henk and Ishan this year. And this partnership looks like it's really settling in pretty well, and in fact today it's been looking pretty good, the car. So how are you going to prepare two rookies for Singapore, and how will you get them up to speed once you get there?
Well, Singapore is a special challenge as well because we are not allowed to have video, we're not allowed to have radio communications, and of course we'll talk about a street track. I've done Macau countless times. I've done Bang Sen since I've been with B-Quik over 10 years now. So the challenges are mainly, of course, the street track. Every session, the grip is going to be improving. So we only have half an hour session, so we have to maximize that time available. If you look at the differences between Singapore, Macau, and Bang Sen, well, Macau and Bang Sen are very, very similar. But Singapore is an F1 event, so the track is very wide. So from that sense, probably we will not see as many red flags. But nevertheless, the plan is always to maximize the track time for the drivers. In terms of the circuit itself, from my experience, it's quite slow. The corners are slow and sharp, so it's all about how to get the GT3 car on a low grip circuit to be very nimble, whilst you have some high-speed corners, and whilst trying to keep that stability. That is going to be the key. But for our drivers, for Henk and Ishan, it's all about track time. To stay out as long as we can. And then after the session, we just sit down and look at the data like we usually do and try to improve session after session. You know, if you notice this year in Bang Sen, all the fastest lap times were at race 2, right at the end, with the track rubbering up, etc. So that is our plan for Singapore.
Right, well, you've just answered every question I was going to ask you, so thank you for your time. Thanks very much.
Thank you.